Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting, wonderful episode of Just Chatting. Oh, I've got a problem, and I can't quite track it down what it is. That my audio and video are out of sync. I'm just going to double check to make sure that I've got the problem again. I'm going to have to. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to shut down OBS and restart it again. I think. I don't know why. I think it might be the fact that I've got a USB microphone. Well, we'll go with it for a minute. I'm not going to shut it down because I've got a lot of other things that I've got going on today. I think it might be down to the USB microphone as opposed to a direct microphone, but it normally seems to catch itself up during the broadcast. Right. I'm going to talk today about chronic illness and health, but we'll do that in a little while. Before I do that, let me just. I haven't got my chat up. Right. Okay. Now I've got my chat up. So I can see. I can see who's there. We're going to talk about chronic illness and health. Before I do that, I'm going to go through a couple of other things. One thing that I'm really upset about is that it's been a bit of a blow that the Pride march has been cancelled in London. Pride has been cancelled, second year running. I'm not gay, but I quite enjoy going to Pride. It is actually quite fun, especially to see all the multicolours. It's a good photographic opportunity, and there's some great people there. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Pride. No, I'm glad that we can celebrate it, and it's a pity because I'm not going to be going this year either for that. So that is a shame. That is a shame. I would like to. I'd like to have gone to that, but that's been cancelled. That's down to COVID, I think, because they can't do it. What else? On Netflix, if you haven't watched it, I saw The Magnificent Seven, not the Yul Brynner Robert Vaughn version, but they've remade The Magnificent Seven, and they've done it with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke and Chris Pratt and Peter Sarsgaard. Who? Peter Sarsgaard. He played Floki in Vikings. You ever watch Vikings? Peter Sarsgaard was the guy that played Floki in Vikings. It's actually a really good remake of the Magnificent Seven. It's not a copy. It is slightly different, but it's good. I quite liked it. So that's on Netflix. That's come out this week. So if you get a chance of doing that, let's do that. Right, I'm going to go to the papers. So let me go to the papers. So let's go to the papers. Right, I'm really, really annoyed as to why I've got this mic delay, because everything here is set up correctly. I've not changed anything, and I can't work out why I've got this mic delay. Because it comes and goes. If it was a fixed delay, I would be able to sort it out. I'm just going to try something while we're here. Let's take off my delay and see if it's that. So where are we? I've got 132 milliseconds, so I'm just going to change that to 0. See if that. Oh, we can't, because we're live. We can't. Oh, yes, we can. Yeah. Right. Let's change that to 0 and see if that makes any difference. See if that. No, that's not made any difference at all, has it? No, that's. So the delay's not on my end. The delay must be somewhere else. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what's happening there at all. So it's a bit of a baffler, that one. It's a bit of a baffler. So I will see what we can do about that at a later stage. But normally just rebooting does it. But I'm not going to reboot while I'm doing the while I'm doing this. That's going a bit far. Right. Let's just go through the papers. Newspaper headlines. I like going through the papers just to see what's going on today. In the Eye, vaccine buses and influencers to help teens take up jabs. Okay. There's a lot of resistance to jabs, and I don't know why. I'll come to that in a minute. On the Times, get jabbed or miss the fun, adverts tell the young. Okay. Daily Telegraph. Universities set entrance exams amid A-level chaos, because again, of course, there's going to be chaos regarding all the exams and everything else with COVID, because of the things it's done. This COVID has actually got a lot to answer for. It's actually really got a lot of answer for. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know why I've got a delay. Oh, what a stupid idiot. Let me just double check something. Yeah, I know why I've got a delay. I didn't think of that. Right. Let's have a look and see if that solved the problem. You never know. It might cure the problem. Let me just turn that audio source off for a second. Has that solved the problem? No, it hasn't solved the problem. Oh, well. It doesn't do it locally when I record, so that's why I can't track it down. The Guardian. The Guardian has Holly Bradshaw wins Britain's first ever pole vault medal. Again, it's coming down to this fact that we are getting quite a lot of Olympic heroes. We really are. It looks like it's going to be our best ever Olympics. The Metro, hokey cokey travel chaos. Brits left in limbo by latest traffic light changes. I know there's a lot of people in Mexico. One of the countries, there's several thousand Brits in Mexico that are stuck out there, or they're trying to get back before 4 a.m. on a certain date. Otherwise, they've got to self-isolate in a hotel. And the prices have just gone up, so I've been reading. The prices have gone up from 1,750 or 1,750 to self-isolate. It's just got up to 2,285, 2,285. So it's a bit of a difference there. So they're all rushing to get back, although a couple of people said we might as well stay out there for a little while. Right, the Daily Fail, the Daily Whale, the height of hypocrisy. It's going on about the climate minister jetted to 30 nations in the last 6 months, 7 of them on the red list, while other travellers face crippling costs of quarantine, and he hasn't isolated once. Well, I mean, I don't know. When has there ever been any other than it's them and us with politicians? It's always been them and us with politicians. It's never been any bloody different. It's always them and us with politicians. It's the way it is. Right, Daily Mirror. Johnson is the pits. Apparently he's been telling jokes about Maggie Thatcher and jobless, devastating communities. So they've been pulling him apart about that. Financial Times. He's going on about bank to start discussing rate rises. The Bank of England signals modest tightening in hawkish shift over inflation, and Apple plan to scan iPhones for images of abuse. Apparently, Apple can actually scan your iPhone. There's several reasons why I won't have a Crapple product, and if nothing else, that just reinforces it. Daily Express. Bitter blow, savers facing more years of misery. Again, it's the Bank of England. The Sun. I'll take the bullet for Geronimo. Geronimo is an alpaca that's been sentenced to death since 2017 because he's got bovine TB, which apparently can devastate cattle. And he's been sentenced to death once by DEFRA, and he's escaped it. And he's gone back to court again, and they've put out another warrant. And the owner of this alpaca is saying she'll take the bullet rather than an alpaca. Now, it may be a bit strange, but with all these court appearances, this alpaca has lived an extra 4 years past the original thing. I think if it was going to infect any animals, it would have done it. So, sort of killing it now is a bit like shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted. But what she's saying is that the tests that they're doing on this alpaca aren't designed for an alpaca; they're designed for cows. And the government is saying these tests are pretty reliable, but only when done on cows. This is so annoying me, this mic delay, and I really don't know what it is. Right. The Daily Star. Wokies want suspensions if you tell a saucy joke. No bants at work, are they having a laugh? What they're trying to say is that bosses are banned sharing cheeky jokes with colleagues. And they're banning banter. Now, I don't know about you, some people have got a different totally different idea of what banter actually is. Some people, banter, basically, a lot of people will take banter as being abuse, and they think that it's okay to be banter. I remember, and Paul, who isn't here tonight. I don't know why Paul isn't here tonight. I think he said he was working. He I went out to Spain with him a few years back, and we were celebrating his 50th birthday, actually, out in Spain there. Celebrating his 50th birthday, and we're out there, and we go to his favourite bar, a place called, in Campostilla, it's a place called the Manchester. And we went into this bar, and I'm in my wheelchair, and my partner is pushing me along. And, let me just check something. Yeah, my partner's pushing me along, and we get to this bar, and this guy in a West Ham shirt turns up, and he looks at me, and he said to me, he said, "You're a bit of a lazy bastard, aren't you, being pushed about in a wheelchair?" He said, "You've got it sussed, haven't you? You've got an easy life. You have. You're in a wheelchair. You're being pushed about. You know, you haven't got a care in the world." And he said, "I bet you're even getting benefits for that." And it was the funniest thing in the world, and a couple of his mates were laughing about it as well. And he thought it was absolutely hilarious. He really went on about me being in this wheelchair. And I said to him, I said, "Mate, look, if I could get out of this wheelchair and smack you in the mouth, I would." And he said to me, he said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm just having a little bit of banter." All right? And there's people that just disguise banter, rudeness as banter. I'm going to stop this broadcast for a second because this mic delay is getting on my tits. All right, so I'm going to stop the broadcast. Don't worry. I can see how many of you are watching, so please don't panic because I can hear myself and it's coming in a couple of seconds later. And it is really, really annoying me, and it's really putting me off. So I'm just gonna reboot OBS.